Hi, Cancer. Thanks for checking out my channel. This is Patty Boyle at the Healing Room, and today we'll be discussing the forecast for April 2017 for anyone born under the sign of Cancer in their sun, their moon, or their rising sign. I suggest that anyone viewing this video also view the videos that have to do with your rising sign and your moon sign. It's a more comprehensive view, and also some months your rising or your moon sign may carry more weight. In addition, I'm a firm believer in synchronicity. I do not believe in coincidence. So if you're watching me right now and you've been guided to this channel, you've been guided by your highest level spirit guides and angels and God, Goddess, Source, whatever you'd like to call it. So you could, what am I trying to say? So you can receive at least one nugget of information that has to do with putting you on path, keeping you on path, or maybe just giving you an aha to open your eyes to a solution for a dilemma going on in your life right now. If you're interested in a private reading, I can send you a video like this one that would be personal just for you. I send it to your email. You would just email me the questions associated, or we don't even need to do the video. I can just actually answer questions through email. And my address is thehealingroomcrystals@gmail.com. So without further ado, let's take a look for April 2017. I apologize for the video being so late. April's been a great whirlwind for me, and at least I can give you the energies from this point forward. Okay, so let's take a look together. All right, I'm gonna lift this up just a little bit and get the camera steady. Okay, great. All right, so I've done love, money, work, and health. So let's start with love. So I'm going to read it several different ways, only because there's going to be many people viewing the video. And so we're going to address those in a relationship first, and then those who are currently not in a relationship. So for those in a relationship, a couple things. First of all, there's issues with trust here. So either you're with someone who you're having a hard time trusting, and this very well could be somebody who is an earth sign. This is the King of Earth or the King of Pentacles. Whether you're with somebody right now who is an earth sign, could be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or Virgo. And the Seven of Air, which is Seven of Swords, basically means not everything's what it seems, okay? And according to, this is the Doreen Virtue deck, tarot deck, okay? And she actually puts blurbs on the bottom of each of her cards. And for the Seven of Air, which is really the Seven of Swords in the tarot, the Rider-Waite, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, poor timing. So this either describes you or it describes your mate. In other words, either you have a hard time trusting generally because you've had a rough run with relationships, and as a result, you keep this gentleman or this woman here at arm's length, okay? In which case, the relationship has a chasm. There's a gap, okay? So what needs to happen is there needs to be a heart-to-heart talk, okay? Or if you feel like there's an issue and maybe your mate has been like, no, that didn't happen, but your gut's still telling you, I think it did. I want you to, again, talk it out. I also feel like you also may need to go to, if you guys are really interested in preserving the relationship, go speak to someone. Go to, somebody who's a counselor. You can go to a marriage counselor, or, if you're not married, you can go to a counselor. They have counselors in different churches. Just anybody who's a mediator. Because you may be looking through a lens of distrust. And so sometimes it's really difficult to discern, is this just me being paranoid, or is there something that I should be concerned about that my mate is doing? Okay, so Again, your mate could be doing some stuff that's not so trustworthy and that's not so cool. In which case, no matter what, the big conversation needs to happen. And if you feel like you don't want to do the big conversation because whenever you bring anything up, there's defensiveness and anger, then you may want to say, listen, it's time for us to go to a mediator and talk this out, whether it's a counselor or, somebody trusted that or, like I said, there's many organizations that have, counseling for free. Generally speaking, it feels like you're just carrying the burden of the relationship. This is if you're in the relationship, you're in a relationship right now. If you're not in a relationship, it means you literally have trust issues. There's no question about it. You literally have trust issues, and you're still carrying around like fears of, the burden of a relationship looks like a burden, and the ones maybe you've had in the past have been riddled with, resentments and so what's happening is there's somebody actually waiting to hang out with you who's of an earthy nature. It doesn't have to be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. It could be just somebody who, makes good money, is very grounded, knows what they want, and goes for it. Doesn't beat around the bush. But the advice here is time to be completely honest, okay, with yourself if you're not in a relationship. And if you are in a relationship, it's time to have that talk with with your mate. And if it causes so much dissension that you can't even get through the muck, then if it's worth preserving, then the suggestion is bring it to a mediating force. Bring it to a counselor. There's a ton of different counselors out there. But what the biggest message here is, it's time to work on the trust issue. Okay, this is the biggest thing for you guys for this month, so that you can be at peace. Because you don't want to be, you don't want to feel like you have a knot in your stomach, every time your mate goes out to 7-Eleven. Okay, so and as I said, it could be you being paranoid, or it could be that your mate is actually doing things. Either way, you can't bury your head in the sand and be the ostrich here, okay? So just talk about it, and then you'll know for sure, well, I guess I am being paranoid, or you know what, you're not a great fit for me, because I really do feel like you're going out and doing stuff that's not so cool. Okay. Next area for you guys is work and money. Okay. I do feel like although you spend money, you're getting money. Like money is actually flowing to you pretty well. It's like you're having a lot of like, the more you give, the more you get. You're giving and getting a lot right now. Okay. And actually you've created a really wonderful base in your work environment. Okay. So whether you work for somebody, or you work for yourself, I do feel like what's going on right now is you've literally created a nice base. It may feel like it's a little stalled out, like the Seven of Earth, which is Seven of Pentacles. It means that sometimes it's monotonous and you're like, oh, I got to keep doing this. And, where's my windfall? And I do feel like, you are giving a lot of money out, but a lot's coming in, but it's still not, it's almost like your needs are being met, but no luxuries. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're waiting to, get the luxuries, and they are on deck. Seven of Earth assures that success with the area is assured. Just continue doing what you're doing. Okay. Sometimes you're going to be bored to tears, but I feel like you are on the right path. You have the Knight of Water. So I feel like what you do is, you feel like it really helps people. Okay. It could be even some people like, oh, how could I help people? Like you know, I sell pants at Banana Republic or whatever. It does. It helps people because there's somebody out there who wants those pants. And, if you're good at your job and you're a pleasure to be around, then you made their day. They go in, you get them the right size. So service is embedded in, I would say, 90% of the industries are service. Um, and that's kind of, for you guys, that's important too. As cancers, you guys really, you're such natural empaths. You feel everybody's energy. You're like sponges, like you soak in everybody else's energetic in their aura, and so it's not easy for you guys. You're so super intuitive. Because of that, it's important for you guys to take downtime. And it makes sense that there's issues with the romance sector only because you guys are so sensitive that you're all sensitives, okay? So there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. I mean, I was called that my whole life, and not until I got older did I consider that a huge compliment. And I said, "Oh, thank you. I am a sensitive. I appreciate that." You guys are born sensitives, whether you go into reading cards for people or, being a psychic or not, you just you always have at least one of the clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. You have at least one of the clairs. Or you just go to bed at night and you have profound dreams, or you just know things and you don't know how you know. Um, so trust yourselves. Your money and your work is actually going to be great. Continue doing exactly what you're doing. You're in the right field. Okay. Now, for those who are not in the right field and feel like, I work in a horrible environment, then the Seven of Earth is basically saying this is now boredom. It's not, you know, uh, you've continued to do it and you will make money doing this, but it's not what your heart wants. So it's time for you to look for a position that quenches your heart. Okay, like the Knight of Water, the Knight of Cups. So if the job you're in now is not touchy-feely, it's not of the heart at all, and you are feeling bored and almost unfulfilled, then this reading here is saying, well, you know what? Let's get you back. Get you back to that heart space. Let's get into service a little bit, you know? Even a cut and pay would be worth it. Or if you work for yourself, maybe add a modality in there that you know, has something to do with healing. Again, water is definitely one of the healing elements. It's a healing. The Knight of Water, Knight of Cups, the healer. Okay, something to think about. The last section here is health. So I feel like you've had a rough run with health in the past. It seems like this has been the MO for a lot of the signs. But the Six of Air means it's called from going from rough waters to smooth sailing. So you literally have turned the corner on this, okay? I feel like you're taking natural steps. The Page of Earth or the Page of Pentacles um, is definitely, you're really going, you know what? Let me just get into the natural things. I feel like the natural things are what you started doing, and you've actually are in the process of getting a great improvement. Even if you don't see it yet, because Six of Swords literally means you might be at the tail end of the rough run. But I'm going to tell you by the end of April of 2017, you're going to be on the uptick with health, okay? Also you might have issues going on with your neck, your digestion, your knees. Those are all prevalent with, the earth signs. And, Cancer, you're a water sign. But Page of Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles, this is the undercurrent for your health sector, which is showing that maybe one of those areas is giving you a hard time, but that's going to end because you've actually started to do things that are more natural. Whether you've cut out processed foods, maybe you're taking walks outside. You're maybe for you guys, my suggestion would be walk by water. If there's like a creek around your house, a river, an ocean, take walks around there because in addition to really being a healing thing to do, you're also going to wash off those ions that stick to your auric energy. And you guys, like I said, you guys are sponges. So being around water actually is very, very purifying, very cleansing, and aurically detoxifying. Okay, um, so things are really, really looking good for you guys, and do the natural things. Okay, because I feel like that is really where everything's at, and especially near water. Okay, as far as your job, I feel like if you really love what you do, whether it be a job or working for yourself, continue doing exactly what you're doing. You're going to reap great rewards soon. It's just a little bit of a pause. It's a little bit of an ebb. The flow's coming, I promise. However, if you're at a job or your own business that you're completely bored of and you have a pit in your stomach now and you're burnt out, then what the guides are giving you information about is we want you to look for a job that will quench your heart and has something to do with service and serving other people from your heart space, because you will, in a heartbeat, you would take less money if you felt fulfilled. So for the different populations that will be watching this video, there's the two different meanings. As far as your love life, I feel like the biggest thing for you is to work on trust. Again, it's time for the big conversation, okay? And I absolutely feel like I'm going to actually ask for a little more information on this for you guys, okay? All right. I'm going to just pull from this Doreen Virtue deck. I'm going to say, call upon our highest level spirit guides and angels, guardian angels, higher selves. First and foremost, I call upon Almighty God and Almighty Goddess. Call upon Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael. I call upon all those helpers who are with those who are viewing this video who fall under the sign of Cancer. I ask to give us more information about what they need to do in order to help their hearts to heal when it comes to love and romance. And I'm going to just pick from the top of the deck. All right. Again, please give us insight into, whoop, that card just flew out. The Chariot. Okay, so for you guys, your biggest thing will be understanding that you really are amazing and you have no reason to doubt. Now, the Chariot is a yes card. It literally is the card of having complete control over your environment, having complete control over your world, pretty much. And according to the blurb on Doreen Virtue's Chariot card, it says an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. So the Chariot is called the yes card, but it literally means it's a card of achievement. So what they want you to know is you have to realize that you've actually raised up a level, and these old relationships that you had that caused the distrust, this is old. This isn't what's going on. The Chariot is actually the card that's known to be the card of raising up a level, raising up a frequency within your spiritual growth. So what this card is basically saying is, please don't, just because it's happened before in relationships doesn't mean it's happening again. It also doesn't mean that you've got to live this way, okay? So just because they didn't work in the past, I feel like I'm leaning more towards the idea that, especially now that I got the Chariot, that there's two things that need to be done here. You've got to speak your truth to this person, okay? That's very important. That's one of your lessons here, is you have to have the uncomfortable conversation. And then I'm going to say probably 75% of the people watching, this is more based on their lack of trust in relationships generally than it is on their partner doing something wrong. All right. There will be 25%, I would say roughly, of people, of Cancers watching, where their partner is actually not in the up and up. Okay. But I'm going to say a great deal of those watching are just dealing with issues of, how can I trust the opposite sex? I've been, burnt so many times. What they're saying is, yes, that was then, this is now. You're a different person, you're in a different place, and you're attracting different beings to you. You're attracting different mates. You're not attracting the same ones who, used to be like snakes in the grass. You've actually raised up a level. So understand that. You guys are actually at a higher level when it comes to love and romance and relationships than you're even aware of. And that you no longer need to live in this, this state of distrust, because it's a very uncomfortable place to be. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I hope that helped. I thank you guys for viewing my channel. Again, if you're interested in a personal reading, thehealingroomcrystals@gmail.com. I'd be, very happy to work with you. And again, I apologize for the late April videos, but I hope they helped for at least the second half. And I look forward to speaking to all of you in May. And I wish you a wonderful remainder of April. Thanks so much. Take care.